the proceedings today, obviously, is to invite you down to have a drink and say farewell to Fran. And Gary and I are going to share the honour of saying a few words before Fran leaves. It would be remiss of us not to. And Fran, speaking of which, I think to add to your embarrassment, I think you should stand over here where everybody can see you betwixt Gary and I, where you so rightfully belong. But obviously, everybody's aware that Fran is leaving and finally retiring. I suppose what most of you are not aware of, perhaps, so is just how long Fran has been with us. Fran is probably, and I kind of look to Reg, who's probably somewhere here and probably will pitch to the post.
Making sure you get this right.
Our next longest or our longest serving European employee. So it's, I know in terms of kind of continuous service, it's probably a bit of a sort of a close race. But Fran was originally contracted as a young accounts person for the Walt Disney Productions company. Is that correct, Fran?
That's correct.
And who would like to see a picture of Fran as a young accountant? Me too, but unfortunately I wasn't able to supply it. So I do apologise. Fran was busy having a heart attack. Now, for those, to give you some sort of sense of proportion here, I met Fran 20 years ago. And at that point, Fran had already been working for Disney for 17 years. So 37 years. I'm guessing half this audience probably isn't 37 years old. And certainly I don't think there's anyone else in this room, Reg aside, who could in any way, shape or form compete with that. But it is a fantastic tenure that I think Fran is rightly very proud of. So back in 1973, when Fran first joined the company, top of the charts was apparently tie a yellow ribbon around the my personal favourite. And the cinemas were showing The Exodus, The Exorcist rather, and we Disney of course had Robin Hood, and I'm sure probably half of you, Rod included, would know the answer to that. But even then, strange as it may seem, the Walt Disney Company was in fact restructuring. So what's going on today was in fact going on back then. And it was actually that which precipitated a move in the first a northerly and then a slightly westerly direction for Fran, who started off in the very salubrious offices in Pall Mall, made her way to Soho Square. The least said about Soho Square, the better, I think, and a number of other people can stand testament to those hedonous days. But then moving on to Avon Moor Road, a short spell at Heathrow Airport, which we won't talk about, I don't think, and then back here to the roundabout, which is Hammersmith. Fran is obviously the person who best navigates the Bermuda Triangle, which I laughingly refer to as Brussels, and it has been the bane of poor Fran's existence over many years, but actually the person who always locates any package that goes amiss. For me, Fran will always be the byword in customer service, the most professional of people, and we will sorely miss her. And to that effect, whereas young Joe, who has done so much to organise us, to make the first of a number of presentations that we will be making today, in line with expectations.
So the first of which is a card, courtesy of Christina Cross and her team. You have to read that.
Thank you.
So it has been signed by everyone.
Oh wow!
And that might have been the photograph of Fran when she was actually in the accounts department back in the 17th grade. Very youthful and plucky she was.
Actually,
Exactly.
the original picture is you hugging the beast, isn't it? As in Beauty and the Beast. Yeah.
I
We'll
was
nick
going to say,
that
where
one.
did... Yeah. That was about a good photo, that one of the beast.
And then obviously there's the obligatory DCVI book.
Yes.
Which we give when everyone
yes,
leaves, which
you
is
do.
also
Oh, that's
signed.
fantastic. Thank you so much.
Do you know, remember what else was on the conveyor belt? Cuddly toy.
Oh wow.
And then,
For you for the purpose of getting it all home on time.
now, and this, I have to be careful with it. As this went round being signed, everyone contributed. And so it's been
Fran.
with love from all your friends at Disney, 2010.
Thank you, everybody.
And now, Gary.
So good afternoon, and thank you for coming out and spending, I know your busy day, but this is a special occasion for Fran, and thank you for celebrating her retirement with us. For those who don't know me, I'm Gary Umetsu, and I manage the physical distribution group. I've known Fran for 20 plus years now, and I've been her boss for 7. The PhysDis group manages the shipping and logistics needs for 12 business units. Jeff Cole created this department many years ago. Jeff was a great boss, mentor, and friend to many of his employees. Fran, if Jeff were here, he'd be very proud of you. Fran's been our one and only employee in Hammersmith's PhysDis department. With the assistance of our wonderful vendors, Fran's been able to provide superior service to multiple business units while always demanding competitive pricing. We're so fortunate to have Fran on our team. She's efficient, focused on her task, and dedicated to her job. Simply, Fran is a model employee. Always cheerful. Always cheerful. When we're frantic, Fran is calm. She's respectful to her coworkers and to our vendors. My favorite trait of Fran is she cares. She cares about the quality of her work and the people that are important in her life. 37 years in one company is a rare occasion, but to do it in a creative and highly demanding industry for the #1 studio in the world is a remarkable accomplishment. Fran, on behalf of the Walt Disney Company, your coworkers, and our vendors, we thank you for your 37 years of service. We have one more gift for you.
Do?
It's going to be unveiled.
Oh no, it's not something Tom
Properly. And you have to come close because it's got Fran's face imposed here. And then you have to read the credit block.
Oh, I know. Where is he? You.
That's why I was getting you in those positions.
Leaning. He had me leaning for a photo.
So in the credit block, we have some of Fran's co-workers and vendors that she's worked with for many years. But the key is John Early is the Mad Hatter. I thought that was appropriate.
That is fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. As you know, you can guess I enjoyed my years working for Disney, and I'm sorry to be going actually, but when you got to go, you got to go. So thank you. And I always wanted one of these. Every time someone left DCVI, they got one. Thank you.
Every time, she said.
So thank you very much. That's all I'm going to say.
There's one guest that we didn't mention earlier that was coming, Fran. So I'm just going to go and get
It's a puppy. Not horrible.
Thank you for coming to my party. This has made my day.
And here we go.